Here's a fact that will surely blow your mind. If you search for the speed of light in Google, this is the value that you'll get. Now let us input this number into Google Earth. You'll be surprised at what you'll get. Of course, you'll say it as a mere coincidence. However, consider this fact. The Great Pyramid is remarkably aligned with the true north, even more so than the efforts of modern-day scientists. True north is the direction that points directly towards the geographic North Pole. This is a fixed point on the Earth's globe. What intensifies the astonishment is the fact that the ancient builders of the Great Pyramid lacked compasses. Do you still believe it to be a coincidence? Well, consider this. The sides of the Great Pyramid align perfectly with the equator, and the three pyramids of Giza are precisely positioned to match Orion's belt. When you examine all the evidence, it becomes clear that the creators of the most impeccably aligned structure on Earth were not a simple ancient civilization employing primitive techniques. Instead, they were highly intelligent workers guided by some hidden insights. The mystery of who built and for what purpose were the pyramids constructed continues to elude us. But located 5 miles southwest of the Giza Plateau, within the ancient necropolis of Zayat el-Aryan, there exists a site that may hold the crucial missing element of understanding one of the world's greatest puzzles in history. The site that I'm referring to is the Layer Pyramid in Zayat el-Aryan. The pyramid was first examined by Perring in 1839, who described it but did little else. It was also examined by Maspero and later still by Morgan, who found the descending entrance passageway in 1896. However, no real investigation took place until around 1900, when Alexandra Barsanti, an Italian artist, restorer, and archaeologist, became interested in the structure. Barsanti was not your ordinary archaeologist. He had devoted decades to the Egyptian Antiquities Service. His ticket to fame was the discovery of Akhenaten's tomb in 1891. At first, like all archaeologists before him, he came to believe that the site had never been a fully constructed pyramid, subsequently abandoned following the death of the king who initiated it. But his mind changed about the importance of the structure when he noticed something extraordinary when he made a return journey to the site. Instead of following the usual road back to Giza along the desert's edge, Barsanti opted for a less traveled path that traversed an elevated plateau, offering a breathtaking view of the surrounding terrain. From this vantage point, he noticed something that immediately drew his attention. Approximately 1.5 miles north of the Layer Pyramid, it seemed as though the ground was scattered with large granite fragments, along with remnants of granite powder typically left behind during stone construction. Egyptologists had been studying Zayat el-Aryan since the 1830s, and never before had they documented anything beyond the unremarkable Layer Pyramid. Without delay, he hastened to Giza and assembled a team of 50 individuals, intending to conduct a preliminary exploration of the site the following day. Within just 2 days, Barsanti realized that his instincts had been correct. A vast rectangular structure lay concealed beneath the ground. As the excavation commenced, Barsanti and his team swiftly discovered that the presumed rectangular edifice was, in fact, an immense pit constructed from limestone, extending deep into the earth. As the excavation progressed, the team discovered interconnected pink granite blocks, culminating in a colossal 30-ton pink granite block in February 1905. This massive block seemed to mark the base of the pit, serving as the foundation for a type of pavement. Pink granite held greater value and was considerably more challenging to work with. Surely the ancient Egyptians did not employ it indiscriminately. This further strengthened Barsanti's belief that the site must possess exceptional significance. Barsanti had high expectations that they're on the brink of discovering an entrance to a subterranean realm, brimming with tombs and untold treasures. His team stumbled upon another revelation while the excavation continued, a discovery that would prove to be the most extraordinary at the entire site, an object of an entirely unprecedented nature. It took the form of a sizable oval vat crafted from pink granite, meticulously polished to a mirror-like sheen, with a depth measuring 1 meter and 5 centimeters. Remarkably, this vat was carved out of one of the blocks constituting the pavement that occupied the pit's bottom. The vat has immaculate reflective sides and a peculiar oval shape. He observed that in the past, someone had undertaken extensive measures to safeguard it. A layer of lime had been carefully spread over the vat's lid, followed by a thick layer of well-distributed clay. This arrangement effectively shielded the vat from coming into direct contact with the stacked limestone blocks positioned above it. Moreover, these limestone blocks were methodically placed alongside one another, encasing the precious form within a protective barrier. Barsanti couldn't help but ponder the reasons behind such precautions. What significance did the vat hold that warranted such intricate safeguarding? Barsanti held firm in his conviction that the vat held the key to unraveling the mysteries. With caution and anticipation, Barsanti and his team embarked on the process of removing the lid. However, their hopes were swiftly turned into disappointment as they lifted it off. There were no valuable artifacts or meticulously preserved treasures to be found. He observed that the walls of the vat were adorned with a narrow black band. He speculated that this faint deposit might have been the residue of a liquid that had been enclosed within the vat as an offering or libation, gradually evaporating over the passing years. This peculiar feature added to the vat's mystery. Barsanti dismissed the notion that the tank served as an unused sarcophagus. At the northern end of the pit, Barsanti and his team unearthed a meticulously crafted staircase ascending steeply out of the pit. These stairs exhibited a level of refinement unsuitable for mere workmen, suggesting a ceremonial purpose or leading to inner chambers. Then, as if the universe collided so the site's mystery would finally be exposed, an astonishing occurrence unfolded. On March 31st, 1905, a violent storm deluged the desert with torrential rain, causing the pit to fill with over 3 meters of water. Remarkably, within a few hours after the storm subsided, the water level in the pit abruptly dropped by 1 meter. Barsanti confidently posited that this sudden change indicated water seepage into concealed subterranean chambers beneath the pit. Despite the intensified effort that they've exerted in excavating the site, it proved to be exceedingly challenging. The immense size and weight of the blocks, coupled with their firm mortar seal and intricate interlocking pattern, posed formidable obstacles. By late 1906, Barsanti faced financial depletion, compelling him to halt the excavation and disband his team. For years to come, he tirelessly sought additional funding, ardently conveying to anyone who would lend an ear that he stood on the brink of a momentous discovery. In 1911, Barsanti finally secured the necessary financial support. Unfortunately, his team's efforts still didn't provide the result that he had expected. Once again, the financial resources dwindled before the mystery could be solved. Barsanti was compelled to search the world for a new benefactor. However, his plans were thwarted by the outbreak of World War I, which brought exploration in Egypt to a standstill. Tragically, in 1917, Barsanti unexpectedly passed away at the age of 59. With his demise, the site and its enigma faded into obscurity, neglected by Egyptologists who abandoned any pursuit of its secrets. Throughout history, numerous theories have emerged attempting to unveil the true purpose of the Great Pyramid. One particularly remarkable theory emerged in the 1960s, introduced by Edward Kunkel. In 1962, Kunkel published a groundbreaking book titled Pharaoh's Pump, which sent shockwaves through the field of Egyptology. In his book, he posited that the passages and chambers within and beneath the Great Pyramid served as conduits and reservoirs for an enormous water pump designed to irrigate the surrounding desert. Kunkel proposed the existence of 2 pumps within the pyramid, one located underground, represented by the enigmatic subterranean chamber, and another situated above ground in the middle and upper chambers. These pumps, working in tandem, would create 2 streams that would exit the pyramid through shafts on its north and south sides. Naturally, Kunkel's theory faced considerable skepticism. Despite this, Kunkel's work caught the attention of engineers who, unrestricted by the conventions of mainstream Egyptology, began to scrutinize his ideas more closely. They recognized that while Kunkel's 2-pump concept might not have been feasible, a ram pump could potentially make sense. A ram pump is a simple device, utilized for centuries, that employs 2 moving parts and the force of gravity to transport water from a reservoir to another location. Could it be plausible that the builders of the Great Pyramid had created a ram pump on such an immense scale? This is now how we connect the dot to the mystery of the Zoyat El Aryan. It has been proposed that the site in question was not a partially constructed pyramid, but rather a designated outflow area where water pumped by the Great Pyramid was directed. It served as a reservoir designed to collect water pumped from underground sources. By observing the tightly sealed oval tub covered with clay and lime, some speculate that it could have served as the point of water emergence. It is plausible that the tub was sealed during a period when the pump was no longer in operation to prevent leakage. Over time, the pit became filled with a jumbled accumulation of limestone blocks, almost resembling the burial of a natural spring. It's possible that ancient civilizations constructed a vast underground irrigation network propelled by a powerful pump, extending all the way to Zoyat El Aryan and throughout Egypt. In the early months of 1999, a marine engineer would go to great lengths in proving this theory. This man was John Cadman. He was intrigued by the Book of Kunkel, so he decided to construct a scale model of the pyramid using his years of experience in hydraulics. He specifically focused on the subterranean chamber to test its viability as a water pump. In July of 1999, he initiated the construction of his first model, utilizing a nearby river as the water source. After many attempts, he was able to successfully pump water on his model. This unequivocally proved to Cadman that the Great Pyramid could indeed operate as an immense water pump. He emphatically asserted that the creators of the subterranean chamber within the Great Pyramid possessed a profound understanding of their undertaking and executed it deliberately. As Cadman conducted further research, his working model revealed an unexpected discovery. Encased in concrete, the pump generated a vertical compression wave akin to a recurring heartbeat-like thump that could be sensed 20 feet away through the ground and heard over 100 feet away. This discovery marked a paradigm shift. If the subterranean chamber of the Great Pyramid produced pulse waves, these waves would have propagated through the granite upper chambers and passages, resulting in ionization within the atmosphere due to granite's reflective properties. In essence, this process would have generated an electric field. In simpler terms, the pulses created by the subterranean pump would have interacted with the pyramid's granite, producing electricity. Consequently, Cadman not only demonstrated the Great Pyramid's ability to function as a water pump for irrigation purposes in ancient Egypt, but also suggested that it had the capacity to generate electricity. Some researchers came to the conclusion that the pit at Zoyat El Aryan was linked to the Great Pyramid through underground tunnels. However, these tunnels may have served a different purpose than irrigation. Instead, they could have been utilized to transport electrified water to power an ancient civilization. Possibly the sudden termination of research at the site and its subsequent confinement within a heavily guarded military zone could be attributed to the forbidden ancient technology hidden beneath it. It's conceivable that Zoyat El Aryan hides evidence of an electrically advanced ancient Egypt. These hidden secrets have the potential to completely revolutionize our comprehension of human history. What are your thoughts about this? I hope you like our story. Until the next one. In his renowned book, The Histories, Herodotus penned his account of visiting the awe-inspiring Nile River and venturing towards Lake Moeris in Egypt. The Greek historian vividly described the presence of two colossal pyramids, towering approximately 600 feet in height. These immense structures rose 300 feet above the water's surface, while extending an equal distance below, submerged in the depths of the lake. These would be equivalent to 55-story buildings in our time. These pyramids were crowned not with a simple geometric capstone like the ones at Giza, but with colossal statues depicting pharaohs or gods, their piercing gazes fixed upon passing fishermen drifting on the lake. Such a sight must have left countless ancient visitors breathless, just as it did for Herodotus. By now, as a viewer, you may find yourself contemplating a few intriguing questions. Why has the existence of these pyramids remained unknown to you until now? If they did indeed exist, why haven't they attained the same level of fame as their smaller counterparts? And why are there so few visual depictions of them, limited to just a couple of old drawings? The straightforward answer to all these queries lies in a single fact. They are missing. For centuries, historians and archaeologists have tirelessly searched for the elusive twin pyramids mentioned by Herodotus. Such fruitless quests are not uncommon when it comes to the accounts provided by Herodotus. The relentless march of time has erased numerous wonders that he vividly described, having witnessed them firsthand. These marvels have either completely vanished, leaving no trace, or transformed into unrecognizable mounds of rubble. You might find this mind-boggling. How could something as enormous as a pyramid could simply vanish without a trace? In order to unravel this mystery, we must journey back in time to the ancient world, specifically 2,000 years ago during the 5th century BCE, when we are introduced to a Greek individual known as Herodotus. He was an extensively well-traveled individual. By the time he reached the age of 60, he had traversed vast regions known to the ancient Greeks, from the grassy plains of Scythia in the north to the grand and opulent city of Babylon in the south. As he neared the end of his life, he embarked on the task of recording all the remarkable experiences and knowledge gained from his daring expeditions. This comprehensive narrative of his travels, titled The Histories, became a revolutionary work that redefined the essence of history itself, elevating it to a scholarly quest dedicated to unearthing the truths of human history. Herodotus is now celebrated as the esteemed father of history. Within the Histories, he meticulously documents the landscapes, individuals, and tales that he encountered during his voyages. In his book, it was evident that Herodotus held a deep fascination towards Egypt. He described it as a land boasting an astonishing array of marvels, surpassing any other place in the world in terms of its monumental structures. Many of the places and monuments he depicted still exist today, captivating modern-day sightseers just as they did over 2,000 years ago. In one of his travels, Herodotus ventured down the majestic Nile River, eventually reaching Lake Moeris. This immense freshwater lake, nourished by the Nile's waters, was adorned with a city that Herodotus referred to as Crocodilopolis, meaning the city of crocodiles. It derived its name from the fascinating and scaly creatures that inhabited the waters, regarded as sacred by the local inhabitants. The lake in itself was a wonder, for it was man-made, meticulously dug into the earth by the hands of countless Egyptian laborers under the command of a long-deceased pharaoh. In the heart of the lake lies the location of the colossal twin pyramids. The narrative of the lost pyramids of Lake Moeris was even utilized by certain scholars of ancient history to support the theory that the Great Pyramid of Giza served as a colossal water pump rather than a burial monument. If Herodotus's account is accurate, the presence of two of Egypt's largest pyramids within the confines of Egypt's largest lake should provide us with valuable insights regarding their intended function. Except, there's one problem. Archaeologists have faced the challenge of finding supporting evidence for the existence of these pyramids. Pyramids stand as some of humanity's most enduring architectural feats, thanks to their structural design. Their shape grants them greater resilience over time compared to other types of buildings. With this in mind, the question arises, where did these pyramids disappear to? Or did Herodotus provide inaccurate information about this? Herodotus, despite his influential work, was not without flaws. Over the span of 2,400 years since the completion of his renowned book, readers have unearthed inconsistencies and issues that raised doubts. Gradually, it became apparent that the Histories contained a plethora of errors and misinformation, prompting some critics to name him as the father of lies instead of the father of history. A striking illustration of these discrepancies can be found in Herodotus's depiction of the Great Pyramid of Giza. According to him, it stood at a towering height of 800 feet, whereas its true height is closer to 500 feet. This serves as a clear indication of how the Greek historian embellished the pyramid's dimensions for his narrative. Similarly, Herodotus's assertion that Lake Moeris was a man-made lake is proven incorrect. The ancient Egyptian pharaohs of the 12th dynasty carried out extensive waterworks to convert the lake into a vast reservoir, creating the illusion that the lake was a man-made excavation. These exaggerations and inaccuracies permeate the pages of the Histories. However, we should not readily dismiss the contributions of Herodotus, who provided valuable insights into ancient times. One thing to consider is that his inaccuracies may not have been deliberate. Herodotus visited Egypt long after its prime, where many buildings and monuments were already 1,000 years old, dating back to the Bronze Age collapse. In essence, he was describing a post-apocalyptic landscape. Moreover, Herodotus openly acknowledged his inability to read Egyptian hieroglyphics, relying heavily on his local guides for information. When his guides provided specific details about monuments or pharaohs, he lacked the means to fact-check them. These might explain how he ended up with exaggerated estimations and erroneous information. Indeed, archaeologists have unearthed archaeological remnants of a magnificent monument on the shore of the dried-up lake. These are the pedestals of Biahmu, situated just a few miles north of the city of Fayum, formerly known as the City of Crocodiles. Although only the bases remain today, they once served as the thrones for two colossal statues crafted from quartzite stone. By piecing together fragments, we can infer that these statues likely portrayed two prominent pharaohs seated side by side. Archaeologists propose that they were erected during the reign of Amenemhat III, a renowned conquering pharaoh from Egypt's 12th dynasty. Scholars have theorized that each of the colossal statues, including the pedestals, originally stood at a height of approximately 59 to 60 feet, making them some of the tallest sculptures in Egypt since the Great Sphinx of Giza. In contrast, Herodotus claimed that his pyramids reached a towering height of around 600 feet, although he never saw their lower halves due to their submersion in water. From the matching descriptions and location, it appears that everything aligns except for the height. It is likely that Herodotus fell victim to yet another one of his exaggerated accounts. Either he had a poor sense of estimation, or his guides played a trick on him, leading to a height measurement that was 10 times the actual size. In their analysis of Herodotus, modern scholars Hall and Wells propose a theory to explain the Greek historian's significant error. Apparently, Herodotus only viewed the statues from a distant vantage point across the lake, accepting the greatly exaggerated figures provided by his guides. It is plausible that Herodotus never had the opportunity to verify these claims and unknowingly perpetuated a mystery that lasted for over 2,000 years. While the Biahmu colossi were undoubtedly impressive in their heyday, showcasing remarkable size and intricate carvings, Herodotus unjustly inflated our expectations. The drawings depicting giant pyramids are fanciful fan art based on nothing more than Herodotus's distorted account. Moreover, considering the impracticality of constructing pyramids in water, Egyptologists speculate that Herodotus described these statues during a period when the area was flooded. What happened to the massive statues? As recently as the 1240s AD, less than 700 years ago, an Islamic scholar reported having seen them. However, he later noted that the statues had been destroyed by locals who believed that hidden treasure lay within. According to one account, when European archaeologists visited the site in the 1800s, they discovered the pile that once represented the statues. In 1888, British archaeologist Flinders Petrie gathered a significant portion of these fragments and transported them back to England. The Ashmolean Museum in Oxford currently houses 47 of these pieces. Among them, you can find the oversized nose of one of the stone pharaohs hanging on the wall in the museum's Egyptian sculpture gallery. It is a small artifact that gives rise to a grand myth, illustrating how two pyramids can seemingly vanish without a trace.
The ancient Egyptians have always captured our imaginations with their rich history, intricate mummification practices, and towering pyramids. For centuries, we have studied their customs and beliefs, marveling at their sophisticated knowledge of astronomy, mathematics, and medicine. However, recent discoveries have revealed that this civilization may have been hiding secrets that could change our understanding of their world. Join us as we dive deeper into the wonders of ancient Egypt and uncover the secrets that have been hidden for thousands of years. The dream of flight has captivated mankind since time immemorial. From the ancient Chinese to the Renaissance inventors, early pioneers worked tirelessly to turn their fantasies into reality. For centuries, flight remained just that, a far-off dream, until the Wright brothers finally made it a reality in 1903. Yet, chilling discoveries in Egypt threatens to unravel all that we know about the history of flight and rewrite the story of mankind's journey to the skies. The Temple of Osiris in Egypt has recently been the center of a fascinating and intriguing discovery that has set the scientific world ablaze with controversy. Egyptologist Ruth Hover made the discovery while photographing one of the wall panels. To her surprise, she found images that appear to depict advanced technology, including an aircraft with a rudder, a helicopter, a streamlined water vessel, and what appears to be a submarine. These simple images have sparked a fiery debate among experts in the field, challenging everything we thought we knew about the ancient Egyptians. Some believe that people from space taught the ancient Egyptians, while others suggest that these shapes could just be projections of familiar images from our own civilization. Hover also believes that she has deciphered an ancient code contained within the walls of the temple, a message that the Egyptians planned to stay hidden until the day society was ready to unravel it. The code appears to contain the number 9, which is also the number of the planet Mars, leading to ponder the possibility that the ancient Egyptians may have come from Mars, or that Mars was a stopping place. Yet, there is a further twist to the riddle of the ancient Egyptians in flight. In the oldest pyramid in Egypt, explorers discovered a cache of artifacts in an ancient tomb that was left ignored for decades in the Cairo Museum. Among the findings was a small wooden carving called the Saqqara bird, which is believed to hold the key to an incredible enigma. The Saqqara bird is known for its aerodynamic precision. The shape of the wing and the fuselage seem to have similarities to modern-day aircraft engineering. This raises the question of whether the ancient Egyptians really had the technology of flight over 2,000 years ago. Simon Sanderson, an aerodynamics expert, used the latest scientific techniques to unravel the mystery of this artifact. He made a model of the bird that is 5 times larger than the original and used cutting-edge technology to conduct a flying test. There was a fatal flaw in the design of the artifact. Without a tailplane, it would have been difficult for the aircraft to fly. But what if the Saqqara bird did, in fact, have a tailplane at the time of the ancient Egyptians? With the tailplane added to the design, the Saqqara bird glides effortlessly, proving beyond doubt that it could have flown over 2,000 years ago. But that's not all. Another exciting discovery has been made at the Osiris Magna Temple, dedicated to Osiris, the god of death. A 4,300-foot-long, 6.5-foot-tall underground tunnel has been found that is an exact replica of the Upalinos Tunnel in Greece. This tunnel, located roughly 43 feet below the temple, is believed to have carried water for over 1,000 years. Part of the tunnel is now submerged, possibly due to the collapse of the temple following natural disasters such as earthquakes that struck the region between 320 and 1303 CE. During previous excavations, a variety of artifacts have been discovered, including figurines, statues of the goddess Isis, Greco-Roman style amulets, and coins bearing the names and images of Cleopatra VII and others. Cleopatra, who ruled Ptolemaic Egypt between 51 and 30 BCE, was said to have committed suicide with her lover Mark Antony, a Roman general. It was recorded that they were buried together, but the exact location was unknown. With the recent discovery at Osiris Magna Temple, archaeologists are getting closer to uncovering the final resting place of the famous ancient Egyptian queen. The discovery of the tomb of Queen Neith in Memphis, the former capital city of ancient Egypt, is a major milestone in the field of Egyptian archaeology. This exciting find was made during an excavation that took place near the Pyramid of King Teti in 2010, and it has since provided valuable insights into the history and culture of this fascinating civilization. Despite the presence of many pyramids in the area, the discovery of Queen Neith's tomb stands out as one of the most significant rewards for archaeologists. For years, the identity of the pyramid's owner remained a mystery, but in 2020, researchers finally uncovered the name inscribed on a wall in a funerary temple that was found alongside the tomb. The tomb belongs to Queen Neith, the wife of King Teti, who lived and died over 4,200 years ago. The significance of this discovery cannot be overstated. According to Dr. Zahi Hawass, a renowned Egyptian archaeologist and former Minister of Antiquities, the discovery of Queen Neith's tomb will help to rewrite the history of ancient Egypt. This is because, until now, there has been no record in the history of ancient Egypt that bears the name of Queen Neith. The Lost Golden City is one of the most significant and exciting archaeological discoveries in recent years. This ancient city, believed to have been used by pharaohs, including Ahmose III and Tutankhamun, dates back to the reign of Amenhotep III, who ruled between 1391 and 1353 BC. Despite its historical significance, the Lost Golden City remained hidden for thousands of years, only to be finally discovered in September 2020 by a team of determined archaeologists. Located on the west bank of Luxor, the site was initially identified by formations of mud bricks, which hinted at the presence of a large city. As the excavation began, the team was amazed to find that the site was in remarkable condition, with walls that were almost complete and rooms filled with everyday tools. Lost to history for centuries, the ancient Library of Alexandria was once considered the world's largest repository of knowledge. Its grandeur would have dwarfed even our modern libraries. It was said to house over 400,000 to 700,000 rolls of papyrus, covering a range of scientific subjects. Despite its grandeur, the library met a tragic end when it burned down in a fire incident, leaving many to believe that nothing was left. But in 2004, a Polish-Egyptian team of archaeologists breathed new life into this historical mystery. As they excavated parts of the Bruchion region of the Mediterranean city, they stumbled upon what they believed to be the original site of the ancient Library of Alexandria. In their discovery, they found what could only be described as lecture halls or auditoriums, a sign of the former grandeur of the once great library. While the remains of Alexander the Great, for whom the library was built as a mausoleum, were never found there, the discovery of the site itself is a testament to the enduring legacy of this great treasure of mankind.
America's last frontier. Alaska is a sanctuary of unspoiled nature, teeming with diverse wildlife, dramatic scenery, housing approximately 100,000 glaciers, boasting 34,000 miles of coastline, experiencing the midnight sun, and being one of the prime global locations to witness the awe-inspiring northern lights. Yet concealed within its untamed landscapes lies a classified secret, known only to a chosen few, an enormous pyramid of mysterious origin, covertly identified as the Dark Pyramid. This immense subterranean structure is believed to surpass the size of the renowned Great Pyramid of Giza in Egypt, with rumors suggesting it could be 4 times larger. The Egyptian pyramid stands as one of the most monumental structures ever built by humanity. Undoubtedly, finding a pyramid surpassing this achievement in a remote location of the planet would rank as one of the most significant archaeological breakthroughs of our era. The Dark Pyramid is not only immense in size, but is also believed to have been constructed millions of years in the past. Given these peculiar characteristics, it's not surprising that this structure has generated a plethora of speculations. Alaska spans approximately 2.5 times the size of Texas, encompassing a vast array of climates, from coastlines to deserts, Arctic regions, rainforest jungles, urban areas, and more. A significant portion of the land here is either federally owned or deemed uninhabitable due to prevailing climate conditions. The government has a substantial presence in the state, with an Air Force Army joint base nearly the size of Anchorage located just outside the city. Not only does Alaska offer the potential for covert facilities within the inhospitable federal land, but from a strategic perspective, it would be unwise for the U.S. government not to leverage these advantages. Hence, it's unsurprising that Alaska is at the center of a narrative suggesting the presence of an immense pyramid structure beneath it, one purportedly concealed by the U.S. military. Is it possible that beneath Alaska's icy expanses lies a pyramid exceeding the size of known pyramids around the world? To delve into this narrative, we will concentrate on the disclosures provided by a man named Douglas A. Muchler. It's crucial to emphasize that Doug, as he's affectionately known by his acquaintances, possesses a reputable background. Therefore, it would be imprudent for him to compromise his standing by fabricating extravagant tales. He served as a counterintelligence officer for the U.S. Army stationed at Fort Richardson, situated on the outskirts of Alaska. As part of his standard procedure upon arriving at a new assignment, he reviewed the map to confirm his operational area and noticed an irregularity. Little did he know that this peculiar discovery would unravel a mystery that would captivate him for the remainder of his life. A significant area on the map had been intentionally omitted and labeled as "this area not surveyed to date." This raised suspicions of concealed information, but accustomed to the military's need-to-know protocol, he chose to overlook it. However, destiny seemed to guide him toward uncovering the mystery concealed in Alaska. It all started in 1992, when China conducted its most extensive subterranean nuclear detonation. This incident provided an opportunity for geologists and various scientists to delve into the Earth's crust. Half a year after the nuclear test, Douglas chanced upon a news segment on NBC's Channel 13. The story highlighted a remarkable discovery following the nuclear explosion in China. It was reported that the magnitude of the explosion was so immense that it reverberated through the Earth's fabric, sending shock waves across 4,000 miles to reach Alaska, where they were detected by earthquake monitoring stations. Through analyzing these waves, scientists scrutinized the density of the rocks they traversed. The news report unveiled that the subterranean scans had revealed and identified something remarkable: an underground structure resembling a perfect pyramid 80 kilometers southwest of Mount McKinley in Alaska. Subsequently, tunnels and elevator shafts were excavated, allowing researchers to delve underground and study the pyramid. What piqued Doug's interest was that the location on which the pyramid was located aligned with the spot on the map where he had previously noticed the uncharted part of Alaska. Then it struck him that this was the concealed secret that the government was withholding in that particular region. Given the magnitude of this discovery, he anticipated it to make headlines and be reported again. However, he was mistaken. Subsequently, he decided to visit the local channel in Anchorage that had aired the report. His purpose was to request a copy of the mentioned report. However, the station manager informed him that they had not aired any such story. As he exited the station, a film editor approached Doug. Although unable to directly assist him in his quest, the editor confirmed that the mentioned story had indeed been broadcast on the station the night before. She shared a disconcerting revelation. 2 individuals had arrived and seized the tapes. He didn't let this go, and several years later, he mustered the audacity to delve into government documents in an attempt to uncover the truth, only to be confronted by 2 mysterious officials who confiscated the files and reiterated that he lacked the necessary security clearance. It wasn't until 2 decades later that Doug's revelation would become public knowledge. This began when he contacted Linda Moulton Howe via email. Linda is a prominent American investigative journalist and a UFO expert with a profound curiosity for unexplained phenomena. In his message to the journalist, he revealed his belief that the government was concealing a substantial pyramid-like structure beneath the surface in Alaska. In July 2012, Linda made the existence of the Dark Pyramid known to the public during her appearance on the Coast to Coast AM radio show. She shared a pre-recorded interview with Doug. After Linda's disclosures, a plethora of stories and information about the site from purported whistleblowers inundated her. Among them was Bruce Pearson. Bruce Pearson's father had a direct encounter with this mysterious structure when he was taken on a flight to the pyramid for a supply drop-off mission. The pilot was a friend, and both were former military pilots. Mr. Pearson's father initially believed they were headed to a radar installation, but to his surprise, the destination was an underground pyramid. The father was informed just before the flight that they were headed to a generating plant, and upon asking if it was a nuclear plant, he was told it was a non-nuclear facility, ancient in origin, resembling a pyramid, and located 150 feet below ground. The pilot proceeded to inform the father about the astounding power output of the pyramid, capable of supplying energy for the entire country of Canada, and its mysterious origin that has baffled everyone. During their helicopter journey, they noticed a small, fixed-wing plane tailing them, transporting 3 aluminium cases. Despite initial concerns, they were assured that the helicopter's alarms would activate approximately 5 miles away from the site, and indeed they did for a brief period. The helicopter experienced a complete electrical malfunction, causing even the compass to spin rapidly. Upon reaching the site, they observed several structures, a motor pool, and a couple of mine shaft elevators. Pearson's father easily recognized mining shafts in the vicinity due to their prevalence in his childhood community. The elevators were fenced with electrification and had guardhouses on top. The armed personnel at the base, donned in black uniforms without any insignia, aimed their weapons at the helicopter. Unloading the 3 cases required 6 men, and remarkably, there was no accompanying paperwork. Another account came from an individual known solely as the 46-year-old adopted son of a retired Western Electric engineer. He asserted that his father had informed him of the existence of a dark pyramid in Alaska. Furthermore, he revealed that his father had been involved in working on a potent electrical system within it during the early 1960s. Adding credibility to the account was an unidentified woman who contacted Linda, claiming to be a remote viewer. In her remote viewing session, she meticulously described the pyramid and its surroundings, implying that its purpose was to tap into the Earth's energy. What astonished everyone even further was her insinuation of potential extraterrestrial engagement, depicting a humanoid figure guiding a group within the pyramid. Linda received yet another mysterious phone call, this time from a man located on the East Coast who affirmed Doug's assertion. The man asserted that he had personally seen the immense underground pyramid in Alaska. It was evident to Linda that the caller possessed insider information regarding the pyramid. According to him, the pyramid was a formidable structure made of dark stone, and he was well aware of its precise dimensions, measuring 550 feet from the base to the top. Another intriguing account came from an unidentified retired naval captain who also came forward to share his knowledge on the enigmatic pyramid. The captain, who had been involved with top-secret radar installations in Alaska during the 80s, highlighted a peculiar phenomenon. Over the years, he observed an enigmatic and immensely powerful electromagnetic source near Lake Minchumina that was causing disruptions to aircraft and communications at his base. After the revelations from the Chinese tests, the captain made a significant connection. The cause of these disturbances was a massive underground pyramid-shaped structure nestled in the core of Alaska. Strikingly absent from maps or satellite imagery, this discovery astonished him. However, when he reported this finding to his superiors, they promptly threatened him with a court-martial. With the scant information accessible and only a handful of alleged military personnel speaking out, concrete facts about the pyramid's origins remain elusive. Some conclude that it might have been crafted by an exceptionally intelligent civilization. Could this be the reason why authorities would like to maintain the secrecy of the existence of this structure? If revealed to the public, it could trigger a thorough reevaluation of the science related to human beginnings. The notion that a highly advanced civilization may have existed globally in ancient times, possibly surpassing our present technology, challenges our comprehension, especially given our current struggles to replicate such pyramid construction. Accounts of mysterious pyramid sightings are not isolated to Alaska. Numerous researchers and eyewitnesses contend that the public is aware of only a small fraction of the pyramids around the world, and that a significant number are deliberately concealed from the general populace. Locations such as Bosnia, China, the Bermuda Triangle, and Antarctica have been mentioned, with reports of immense pyramids. Throughout the years, persistent speculations have arisen concerning the genuine purpose of pyramids and the immense power they potentially hold. One theory that has been put forward is that the physical structure of a pyramid has the capacity to harness electromagnetic energy from the surrounding atmosphere and transmit it, potentially influencing human consciousness. Is it possible that ancient civilizations constructed pyramids to enhance the global harnessing of electromagnetic energy, potentially for the purpose of enhancing their personal, cognitive, and spiritual capacities? Certain researchers have theorized that pyramids function as colossal generators and have the ability to interact with and directly influence the electromagnetic field. Interestingly, a Ukrainian physicist named Dr. Volodymyr Krasnoholovets has affirmed the veracity of this claim through his experiments. He stated that with backing from the Russian government, they built an immense 140-foot pyramid outside Moscow, resulting in extraordinary outcomes. The test results unveiled several effects within and around the pyramid. tissue regeneration displayed a remarkable acceleration, and the immune systems of humans and other organisms saw noticeable improvement. Seismic activity in the pyramid's vicinity experienced a significant reduction, and this positive impact seemed to persist consistently. Additionally, harsh weather conditions were considerably less severe after the pyramid's construction. Moreover, when placed inside the pyramid, radioactive materials showed reduced radiation levels. The credible findings from researchers imply that ancient advanced societies might have constructed an expansive network of pyramids for generating power and other advantageous objectives. The concealed dark pyramid in Alaska could be just one part of a network of pyramids that remains largely hidden from public view. This would also explain the existence of similar ancient pyramids scattered worldwide, constructed by distinct and separate cultures. What are your thoughts about this? I hope you like our story. Until the next one.